What's up, DC? This your girl, Mindy Joe with the DCVoice.com, and it is a new year, and it is a great start to new year. What better way to kick off the new year than here at the Wilson Building? That's right, where all of the council members are here, and they're ready to introduce new laws, propose new laws before the council, and with hopes that certain committees will bring these bills and introductions into law. Let's talk taxes. Who wants to talk about that? But people do want to talk about tax refunds. Hey, if we're talking about tax refunds, I'm with you all day long. But these are most beneficial to the residents, of course. Why wouldn't they? The council wouldn't be working so hard on our behalf if it wasn't. Let's tune in and let's just see just what does this meeting, what's on the agenda items for this meeting, how the new year is starting off, what's the tone of the city, hey, we're getting ready for a lot of things here in Washington. That's right, inauguration is coming up, but before then we have to lay down the laws of the land for the residents. So let's just go head on behind those chamber doors and see what's in store. All right.
Chairman, today, along with my colleagues, council members Evans, Bonds, Allen, and Silver, and I reintroduced the Expanding Access to Justice Act 2017. I originally introduced this bill during Council Bill 21 and held a public hearing on October 19th. The original bill was a culmination of key stakeholder engagement and collaboration that began with the public roundtable that I held on June 22nd of last year entitled Considering Civil Bidding, Expanding Access to Justice in the District of Columbia. At the roundtable and subsequent hearing, local and national subject matter experts testified about best practices for expanding access to justice through the implementation of civil bidding legislation. For those of you who are familiar with the concept of civil bidding, it refers to the national movement to expand the right to counsel in civil cases, similar to the right to counsel in criminal cases. Testimony throughout the roundtable and hearing highlighted the dire need for civil representation in the District of Columbia, particularly for low-income residents. For example, recent reports show that approximately 97% of defendants and landlords in court appear without legal counsel, and 98% of both petitioners and respondents in the domestic violence unit of the recent Superior Court proceeding pro se. The need clearly exists, and without representation measures and litigants, lack of legal opportunity to protect their rights. Accordingly, the bill would authorize the DC Bar Foundation to adopt policies and procedures, issue requests for proposals, and make grants to designated legal service providers as part of a new series of legal counsel projects. The providers would represent low-income tenants at below 200% of the federal poverty line-based eviction, housing code violations, termination from a rental housing subsidy program, increases in rent control units, and homeless shelter proceedings. The bill also requires the DC Bar Foundation to collaborate with key government agencies, the Office of the Tenant Advocate, the DC Housing Authority, and developing a new plan for provision of legal services. Although they're not here, I want to just recognize having organizations for the continued engagement throughout the drafting process and the support for this effort. The DC Bar Foundation, the Legal Aid Society, the District of Columbia, Legal Services Corporation, DC Access to Justice Commission, the National Coalition for Civil Rights Council, Neighborhood Legal Services Program, the Children's Law Center, the Washington Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights and Urban Affairs, and the Washington Council of Lawyers. At this time, I will welcome the co-sponsors.
And affordable housing prices, where 46% of district renters spend 30 to 50% and more of their income on rent. Approximately 23% of district renters pay more than 50% of their income on rent. This means that nearly 1/4 of the district residents spend more than 1/2 of their income on just their rent. Last December, a survey of 32 cities prepared by the U.S. Conference of Mayors showed that the district had the highest rate of homelessness, with 124 homeless people for every 10,000 residents, more than twice the national average. During the past 30 years, limiting rent increases through rent control have proven to be one of the most effective methods for low to moderate income residents to live and continue to live in the District of Columbia. It is estimated that 80,000 rental units remain under rent control, which is approximately 1/3 of all housing units in the district. Currently, rent for most units under rent control may be increased annually by the Consumer Price Index or CPI plus 2%, but not more than 10%. Rents may also be increased from 10 to 30% when a unit becomes vacant and through the petition process. Over the years, these vacancy increases have caused significant loss of affordable units. This situation begs the questions: what policy reason is there to allow for CPI plus 2% rent increases when the salary of most workers increases by the CPI alone? Today's legislation limits annual increases to just the CPI and lowers vacancy increases from 10% minimum to 5% of the rent charge. This legislation will add dollars each month to the budgets of 80,000 households that will likely spend their dollars in the local DC economy on food, transportation, heat, medicines, and clothing. This bill is a significant step to ensure that our residents can afford to live and thrive in our hometown. I hope that my colleagues will join me in supporting this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and that is my sole introduction today.
September 2013, none of my colleagues were willing to be co-introducers or co-sponsors. At the time, it was unclear whether or not decriminalization of marijuana would pass. But the numbers and the racial disparities were simply too compelling for us not to act. In the years since, I am proud that this council did pass decriminalization and that voters approved Initiative 71 with nearly 70% of the vote. In that time, we have seen marijuana-related arrests plummet, representing thousands of District of Columbia residents who were spared that needless involvement in the judicial system. Based off the data from before and after these policy changes, we know that the war on drugs is and was a failure. It was increasing our mass incarceration problem and not helping with our drug dependency problem. The data also has consistently shown that the war on drugs is racist in its implementation. So we also understand that changing these policies is a racial justice issue. The logical next step to continue to reduce arrests and bring marijuana totally out of the shadows is to set up a strong tax and regulated system. The legislation I'm introducing today will do just that. And it incorporates lessons from other jurisdictions that have moved forward with regulation of recreational marijuana over the past few years. Congress in Colorado, Washington State, Oregon, Alaska, California, Nevada, the list goes on. All these states have legal sales of marijuana, but we in D.C. do not. Because in late 2014, Congress prohibited us from spending any of our local tax dollars to set up such a taxation and regulation system. So this is indeed also a home rule question, as well as a question of human and civil rights, racial justice, and the wise use of our criminal justice resources. The Harris Rider is a reminder of our second-class status. Congress cannot prohibit any of the 50 states from legalizing marijuana as they see fit, but Representative Harris and the leadership on the Hill has no problem undermining the work of this council. I know we will continue to experience this indignity from Congress in the coming years, and we should push back every time, demanding that they let us, elected by the residents of the District of Columbia, decide on local issues. This council should be unapologetic in pursuing what is best for our constituents, and we must stand up to the meddlers in the House and the Senate. There are those in power who may want to take us back to the bad old days of the disastrous and ineffective war on drugs, which harmed our communities, but we must refuse and we will not go back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I welcome co-sponsors.
Are there co-sponsors for this legislation? This bill will be referred sequentially first to the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety until July 15th, and then the Committee of the Whole. Further, Mr. Grassman?
I'm out of time, man.
Disease. This council has supported many initiatives related to expanding access to healthy foods, but we also need to expand access to physical recreation, particularly in tiny neighborhoods. In neighborhoods without ample park or playground space or a nearby recreation center, there often is a public school with a recreation space nearby. The challenge is making sure the public can access the space. The districts too often keep the gates of school grounds locked, requiring those who want to use it to sign waivers, carry large insurance policies, and pay for additional staffing. And while it may be possible for organized groups with deep financial resources, for many of the neighbors who just want to come in for a comfort game of football or soccer or even kickball, or for smaller organizations and volunteer organizations trying to provide positive recreational activities for kids, these government requirements can be an insurmountable burden. So today I'm reintroducing the Community Use of School Facilities Task Force Establishment Act of 2017, along with my colleagues, Mr. Grasso, Ms. Bonds, and Councilor Robert White. The legislation would convene a task force to examine the current barriers to community use of our school facilities, and would just look beyond just the legal liability issues and develop recommendations to address all of these barriers. The task force, made up of related government agencies, PTAs, community groups, and others, would develop creative solutions so that our residents can have greater access to these facilities in our neighborhoods. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I welcome your sponsors.
Well, that's all the news I have that you can absolutely use for today, January 10th, 2017.